Okay, good morning. This is Teddy Burriss, and I'm going to use this morning to have a different conversation with you. And I'm going live on YouTube and I'm recording it, so I'll share it on other social media as well. Give me 1 minute while I shut down the audio in the background. Have a different conversation. I'm going live on YouTube and recording it, so I'll share it on other social media as well. Give me 1 minute while I shut down the audio in the background. There we go. Okay, so here's the conversation. Let me introduce myself to you first. I'm Teddy Burriss. I'm social media strategist, predominantly a LinkedIn coach, trainer, strategist, all about using LinkedIn as a business tool. But I'm also a career coach. I've been doing career coaching for many years. And one of the things I see often when I talk to people who are in career transition is I ask them this question. Are you investing in your own future as much and or as purposefully as you did when you worked for your last boss? Got some talking points here that to keep myself focused on this conversation. Number one is strategy. When you worked for your previous employer, I'm assuming that you had a strategy or that someone had a very deliberate strategy that you followed. Maybe you created that strategy. Maybe it helped to create that strategy. But the bottom line is you knew what you were doing. You were also very purposeful. You showed up to work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or whatever the time frame was, and you did the things that you knew you needed to do in order to be successful in your role working for your previous boss. You didn't come in and hang out. You didn't take an hour to get to the office. Now, yeah, I get it. You had a donut on the way to the office. You said hello to your fellow coworkers. You did a little bit of bonding and rapport. Yeah, we all do that. That's okay to do that in your own world. But you know you have a limited amount of time to do that before you move on to do what you know is purposeful, focused on the strategies that you know will move that role forward, move that company forward, move that department forward. Strategy and purpose. Here's the other one. Now I get it, Monday through Friday, Monday, nobody wants to go to work. If they work someplace they don't enjoy working. Friday, they're watching the clock, waiting for, whatever, 5 o'clock or, holidays. They can't wait, can get a 3-day holiday. But more often than not, when you showed up for work, you applied the right amount of energy to do the things that you needed to do. You did what you needed to do to have that energy. Maybe you got a decent night's sleep the night before. Maybe you worked out a few days a week. Maybe you went to the gym every morning. I don't know what you did, but more often than not, you had the energy you knew you needed to do that job. Do you have that energy today? Do you have the energy you need to be able to do the work you need to do to achieve your own personal goals? Why not? What do you need to do to change so you have the energy you need to be able to achieve your own goals? By golly, you figured out how to do it for your boss. Figure out how to do it for yourself. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm guessing it's eat right, sleep right, get plenty of liquids and plenty of oxygen, maybe do some exercise. I don't know what it is for you. Figure it out. Because you are in the role of your life right now. And that is to get the job you want to get so you can achieve your own personal goals, achieve your own personal successes financially, personally, et cetera, et cetera. Have the energy you need to have to achieve those goals. Here's the other one. Your previous employer probably, make sure I'm going to use that. Yeah, your previous employer probably encouraged you to professionally develop, to grow, to learn in order for you to achieve the goals he needed or she had for you in the role you're in. Probably sent you to training courses, probably encourage you to, study, probably recommended some books, recommended lots of different ways to grow. Are you doing that for yourself now? Are you investing time and a little bit of money for you to learn, for you to grow, for you to be more skilled, more experienced, more knowledgeable, more informed, so that you can achieve your own personal goals? Look, it's not hard to do. We got LinkedIn Learning, Skillshare, Lumio, Udemy, Teachable, TabletWise, Coursera. You've got community colleges. And by the way, don't throw out we're in a pandemic, because that's not going to work. You can do a lot of the stuff virtually. You can learn virtually. You got podcasts and YouTube channels and books. You got books on tape, audio books. There's lots of ways for you to keep learning. You spent time learning to keep growing in your previous role when you worked for the man. Why aren't you learning when you're working for yourself? Blunt questions. That's what this whole conversation is about. Blunt statements, blunt questions. Keep learning so you can be better for yourself. Put in the time. I think I talked about it earlier. Put in the time. Look, I get up every morning earlier than I used to get up when I worked for the man. And I work longer than I worked before when I worked for the man. Why? Because I'm working for myself. I'm growing my own business. You have your own business today. Your own business is to find the next great opportunity for you. Put in the time. Oh, but Teddy, I'm home all day. I can watch the soap operas at 1 o'clock. Really? I'm being a little satirical, maybe sarcastic. Oh, but Teddy, man, 6:30 news. Really? Whatever it is, put in the time. Now, I'm not telling you need to work 24/7, but I'm telling you, don't come up with lame excuses for quitting before you achieve your goals. Keep moving yourself forward. Keep doing what you need to do. Put in the time to achieve your goals. Professional help. In your previous role, if there was a task that you needed to do and you didn't know how to do it or couldn't do it effectively, or it wasn't the best thing for you to invest your time in doing, your previous employer would say to you, well, then go out and contract someone to help us. Go out and find an expert to help us do this. Well, you know what? I get it. Maybe you don't have the budget your previous employer had, but there are lots of resources that can help you. All over the country, all over the globe, there are resources that can help you. So you need to go find these resources. Maybe some of them are friends, neighbors, peers. Maybe you can help each other. Join job search groups and show up there. Find people who have ideas that you've never imagined. Find people who have done that they can help you do it. If you want to use Zoom, find someone to teach you how to use Zoom. If you want to use Calendly, find someone who can teach you Calendly. If you want to use LinkedIn or WordPress or blogging, if you want to know how to write the best possible resume, go find people who know how to write resumes or cover letters. If you don't know how to interview well, or you're scared you may not interview well, find people that can help you. They don't say that they're hard to find. It's not hard to find. There's job search groups all over the USA, all over the world, where you can find these resources. You can also go to places like Fiverr. You go to places like, again, Udemy, Skillshare, et cetera, et cetera. Find resources, find professionals who can help you achieve the things you need to achieve. Do the things that you're not good at doing so you can be better off than every other candidate out there who is like, I can't have someone else help me. Get help. Research. I actually have an article on my blog, ncwiseman.com, where I talk about research. Research should be at least 30% of your day, 30% of your week. Research. And research is not looking for more jobs and Monster, Career Builder, Ladders, Simply Hired, LinkedIn. That's not research. Research is finding people in roles, in industries, in organizations. Research is learning more about an organization you're interested in interviewing for. Research is knowing more about opportunities you've never imagined. Research is knowing more about companies you didn't even know exist. Have you looked at Hoover's or Dun & Bradstreet? Have you looked at, online to find stories about the companies you're interested in interviewing? Have you done research on the people that you want to have conversations with? Have you done research on roles that you didn't even know existed? Roles that you don't even know exist. That's huge. Research is a big part of what you need to be doing. You did it previously, found ideas. You need to do that for yourself. Do research. How about experimentation? Experiment. Try different tactics. In marketing, they call it A/B testing. Try different tactics. See what happens. If you're using LinkedIn to connect with people, change up your messaging. See what happens. Change up your style, your methodology. See what happens. If you've written your resume and it's not really getting you very far, then maybe you want to do some research, find some people, find some professionals, change up your resume, see if you get you something different. How about your cover letter? Experiment with something different. Experimenting is finding new ways to do it, better ways to do it. You've got to do that. We don't use a ball peen hammer for everything. Google that, ball peen hammer. We don't use a claw hammer for everything. Sometimes we have to use a different hammer. Sometimes we need to use a different screwdriver. You need to use different tools to get different results. And the way you decide which tools to use is through experimentation. Try it. Try something different. See what it gets. Try something different. See what it gets. My last note is measure. We were taught, when we worked for the boss, the previous employer, there were metrics we need to meet. There were KPIs we need to pay attention to. Are you measuring your successes? Are you measuring what's moving you forward? Do you have a set of KPIs that you're keeping track of? Key performance indicators. Your LinkedIn profile, is the views going up? Is your network going up? Is your resume moving you further forward in the process? Is your interview style better? How did that work? Measuring your results. How did that phone call style work? How did that email style work? Did that one work better? Then it moves up my KPIs. Then I need a pivot, adjust, experiment more. You've got to be measuring. You've got to be measuring. These activities are moving me this closer. These activities are not moving me closer. You've got to measure your successes, your tactics, your activity, and make decisions based on those measurements, what adjustments you should make. That's my rant for the day. Are you working as hard for yourself in your own goal, for your own goals, in your own career journey, helping you to be successful, to achieve what you want to achieve? Are you working as hard in this role as you worked for your previous boss? I'm wagering that most people cannot answer that statement in the affirmative. And so I'm going to ask you this: why not? Why aren't you as purposeful, strategic, executing, committing, focused? Why aren't you experimenting, finding resources, researching as much as you did in your previous role, or maybe more so? Because you are in the role of your life right now, and that is to achieve the goal that you want to achieve, to get the job that you want to get. So if you're doing it lackluster, if you're just scraping by, reading job boards, and you're not putting the energy in you should be putting in, then shame on you. Don't tell me that you can't find a job unless you can tell me, Teddy, I am putting in all the effort and more so to achieve my own personal goals. I'm Teddy. I'm a strategist. I'm a career coach. I'm being this blunt this morning because I know that you really do care about yourself. You just didn't think about it this deliberately. And I want you to. I know you can be successful. I know you can achieve the goals. I know that you can get to where you want to get to. But I also know it's going to require you being purposeful and putting in the time and being deliberate. And I wish you all the best.